this is one thing that you will greatly understand when you get into client success, whether that's with your own business, whether that's, as, a contractor for a company. You will start to understand the absolute importance of an avatar. Because, like, we have a program, right? And there is clearly an avatar, and we don't have one. And it's very apparent because when someone comes through, they want to make all these changes to the program. They want to do this, they want to do that, they want to do that, they want to do this. Because, for example, right? There is BIPs. Okay, so this is how people get paid. All right, so BIPs, you can have 50 BIPs, 90 BIPs. It's basically like a percentage that you get paid on of a percentage, right? So let's say you have a client that gets 1%. They charge 1% fee for assets under management. Okay. This is just financial advisor talk. It's okay because this is across the board, right? Because their money model has to make sense for us to work with them, or regardless of the result that we get them, because of their money model and how fucked up it is, no matter how good of a job we do, it will never be good enough because their money model is broken. So that's an avatar, right? That's like a criteria like, hey, you need to be getting above 50 bips, or no matter how good we do in our marketing, how good you are at closing, however many deals you close, it doesn't matter if you close a million, it will just never make sense because your money model's fucked, right? So that needs to be advertised. It's not advertised, but the salespeople, the front end, they're really good at gatekeeping that part specifically because they know they're going to get a shit ton of backlash. So sales, the way they're trained, and again, this goes really back to like how people are rewarded and punished, right? So if a salesperson brings someone through, we're going to give them shit, the team's going to give them shit, the COO, the COO, we're going to kick that dude out of the program, and then the salesman's going to get talked to. You see the repercussions for sending someone through that has low bips. They get refunded, so they lose their commission, right? You see, so the big punishment, right? The whole team's mad at him. So anything after the front end is mad at him, right? So back end, fucking middle end, we're all pissed. And then the leadership is like, yo, like, you're gonna get kicked off the fucking team if this happens like 2 more times, like, right? So the punishment's there. The problem is when they send someone through who's not a good fit, and now it only upsets one team, so it doesn't upset the whole organization enough for them to get talked to, right? And then it makes and then this is where, so this creates operational friction inside of a company, and it is the main reason, not the main reason, I can see why we are not scaling, right? Our avatar is not dialed in. We take anyone and everyone who will pay us that gets above a certain money model of BIPs, right? So for example, AUM, assets under management, let's say you have someone who has $1 million, they move those into management with a financial advisor, $1 million. Typically, advisors will charge 1%. So that's $10,000. Now, how they're billed depends on who they work with, right? And whatnot. You can get billed quarterly, you can get monthly, quarterly, or annually. It can get done in arrears, right? That also matters because that's a money model, right? So in terms of renewal, if someone gets paid annually and we only work with you for 4 months, it's like, dude, I closed 10 clients, but I'm not getting paid until, the fucking end of the year. They're not seeing any cash flow, right? So you see what I'm saying? Like, all of this shit fucking matters in terms of the avatar. So it's like, we need someone who gets above 50 bips, right? For it to financially make sense, right? Because if you're getting, so bips is 1%, so that's 10 grand, right? So $1 million client moves the $1 million into assets under management, into investments, you get 1% of that. So that's 10 grand. If you get 50 bips of the 1%, you get 5 grand. I think I'm understanding this correctly. If you're a financial advisor, let me know. So that's not good, right? So we'd rather work with someone who gets, above 60, 70, 80, 90 bips, 95 bips, right? Because then you're getting 95% of the 1%. So you're getting to keep it, more money. We want to work with you because it's easier for you to be happy, right? So, and that's what I'm realizing an avatar is. An avatar is who is it easiest for us to keep happy with how we're currently operating business? The key word is how we're currently operating, not how we plan on operating business, because this is $1 million a month company. This is not some $1 billion a month company. It may be $1 billion company. I would think they would move less faster because there's too much infrastructure in place for there to be flexibility, enough flexibility for them to make changes quickly, right? I would think that $1 million a month company could move quicker operationally and make structural changes quicker than a company at $1 billion. Maybe not, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's why they're a $1 billion company, because they make those changes. But like, we're taking forever to implement shit. And I'm like, I'm not waiting for you guys anymore. I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm just going to start doing everything that I want to do. And I'm getting rewarded for it. So it's just like, I'm not going to sit here and wait for everyone else to make changes. Like, I came in, guns a-blazing. Hey, let's do this, 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 this. Everyone's like, yo, shut your fucking mouth. You just got here. You just showed up. And I'm like, heard. I'll see y'all in 4 months when my commission is double all of y'all's. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, whatever. You know, I tried telling y'all, don't come to me in 4 months asking, oh, wait, sorry, what? Sorry, Paul, what were you saying 4 months ago? Yeah, suck on these. That's what I was saying 4 months ago, son. Word to your mother, son. No. But like, it's just like, I'm trying to help. And I get that I might come across insensitive and make it look like I don't care for your feelings. But I'm like, dude, let's just get better. Let's just get better. And the way I say that can really hurt people's feelings because their identity is attached to the systems and the processes that they have built. But that is why the company is where we're at, because we're operating off the systems and process that you have built. And I appreciate that, because the company wouldn't be here unless you were here. But now let's take it up a notch. You know what I'm saying? Let's make it better. You know, because if there's something I can do better, I want you to call me out on it and let me know, right? You know, I'm super sensitive, so I probably cry more than they have. So, you know, fair play to them. But anyways, this is why it's so important, is because if you don't have an avatar, so someone who it is easiest to get results for based off of how the company is currently running, and then you bring in someone who's hard to work with, so they have 50 bips. So now it's just like, well, it doesn't matter the results that we get. You're not going to be satisfied because you're not going to make great money. And then let's say, like, we work with people who do, you know, the more products you offer as a financial advisor, the better, right? Because the leads we're sending you, they might all have different preferences. You might not be good at positioning. You know, you might not be great at sales. So they might lead you in the product that they want to go into, right? And then if you're not good at influence and persuasion and helping them kind of turn that car around and say, hey, you know, I get that you want to go here. Have you considered this? Blah, blah, blah. If you don't have that aptitude in sales to maneuver a conversation when it's taken a turn and the prospect's in the driver's seat, you know, and you only offer one product and they don't want your product, well, that person's not closing. So it's just like, so it's easier for us to work with people who have AUM, annuities, and insurance. But if you come to us and you have a very niche product in only insurance and you don't work with AUM or annuities, and we're sending you all these leads, and half of them want to go in AUM, half of them want to go in insurance, and then some of them want to go in annuities, but you only do, or the other way, half want to go in annuities, half want to go in AUM, but only, you know, 10% want to go into this very niche product of the insurance that you offer, you're not a good avatar for us. You're going to cause friction inside the organization now. Because now I'm getting emails from this guy, hey, we need to change this, hey, we need to change it. No. Because dude, you're changing our process. Our process produces 30 guaranteed qualified conducted appointments over 120 days. If you make changes to it, you don't even run a fucking marketing agency. You're a financial advisor. What the fuck do you know about fucking running a marketing agency? Jack diddly shit. What the fuck are you talking about, son? What are you talking about, Tony? What the fuck are you doing here, huh? What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Huh, mate? Like, you people fucking crazy, man. You people fuck. Anyways, so it's just like, it's just like, yeah. It's just like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, dude, you're not a good fit for the program. I want to kick you out. Because he's like telling me, hey, we can't work with people who already have financial advisors. Dude, that's a sales issue. If they have a financial advisor and they're on your call, what does that tell you? if a girl's got a man and she's at your crib, what does that tell you, dog? Like, oh, you're kicking her out, bro. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Are you not reading between the lines here and what she wants? Like, what are you? Nah, you gotta get out. You gotta get out. It's like, I get it. It's an ethical thing for the girl. It's not an ethical thing for another financial advisor. Clearly, some needs are not being met on both ends. You know, but like, so it's just like, I don't know. It's so silly. Like the app. I now realize like what like the job of sales is. It's like, and it's so because it's, oh, make sure they're a good fit. It's like, nah, no one does that. It's like, can a salesperson, they're not compensated on someone being a good fit. They're compensated on revenue. Like, did you bring in cash? Did you generate revenue? Did you close? Fuck a good fit. We're gonna leave that at this. But now what's gonna happen is you're gonna have this churn inside of CS, inside of client success, because the front end is letting people who are not a good fit, who do not have an avatar, right? Who are not matching, because we don't have an avatar. So there is not a good fit. There's just like the salespeople have like 3, 4, 5 points. Like, hey, if you get less than 50 bips, this is gonna make sense for you, because that's what they get bitched at for, right? They don't get bitched at for, it's just on the CS team because now the CEO is like, hey, we need cash in the door. But when you prioritize cash in the door, the salespeople don't suffer, CS does. And then you start seeing churn. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like the business is like this holistic human body, right? And it's like if you're eating fucking McDonald's and you start getting fat and it affects like your fucking kidneys and liver. You see what I'm saying? It's like it started in the mouth though. Pause. Hey, yo, Philly Phil. It started in the mouth though. You know what I'm saying? It started because you put that fucking Big Mac, that tasty fucking Big Mac in your fucking mouth. You fucking fat ass. Me too. I fucking eat them. I love them. I mean, I don't eat them anymore, but god damn, I wish I could. Holy shit, them bitches are good as fuck. But it starts there. You know what I'm saying? So if it starts in sales, right, and that's where the first point of contact is for the avatar, and then you're starting to see friction in client success. It's like, well, it started on the front end, right? And then you see how I'm saying how it like affects the whole business holistically, just like it like affects literally a human body. It's all connected. So it's like you need to be aligned, right? And it starts with what's coming in, because that's gonna like it. You could kind of look at like sales as like the mouth, and then like CS as like the stomach, right? And then the handoff in between them as like the esophagus. So you have the mouth, the esophagus, and then the stomach. And it's just like it affects, right? But it's the CEO's job to make sure we have an avatar. That's not sales. Sales is so. To be fair, it's not even sales' fault, right? It's like the CEO is like, hey, we want to hit 1 million a month, like, and they just have these goals. But it's just like, yeah, but look at the wear and tear that you're causing on the human body to pursue these goals. And that is the reason why you won't be able to scale. That's the reason why you won't be able to build muscle and live long, right? For the body. But for the business, that's why you won't be able to scale and hit these, right? Because at what cost are you hitting $1 million a month, right? So it's just like you gotta look at business like holistically, right? Like I'm not trying to eat fast food because I know the effects it has on the rest of the human body, right? You know, I'm trying to eat whole foods, right? I'm trying to eat real foods. I want my kidneys and my liver to be like, hey, we appreciate you, cuh. Hey, bless up, cuh. We love you, fool. You know what I'm saying? Take them herbs. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Drink that juice. Yes, sir. Get that sunlight. Get that movement. Get that air. Breathe through the nose fast, right? And then my body's rewarding me. You know what I'm saying? It's giving me feedback. It is delayed, but it's giving me feedback. I just know through the education that I've gone through since I've been like 16 when I got into fasting that, because the shit I was going through, like I needed an outlet, So taking care of my body, I tried drinking, right? I tried smoking. That shit did not make me feel good. So it's just like I already didn't feel good with what was going on in my world. So it's like I needed something to give me some type of right. So fasting is that thing for me. So it's just like, but now it's kind of coming full circle because it's like you got to take care of the business the way you take care of your human body, because if you're not, it's just like because one Big Mac, right? So one person who doesn't who's not the avatar. Right? If you have a healthy body, really, you'll feel it. If you're in tune with your body, you'll feel it. You know what I'm saying? If you've been eating good, you've been sleeping good, you've been moving good, right? And you have a vessel that's in alignment, you could tell when you eat shit that you're not supposed to be eating, right? But for a business, when the CEO, because I'm aligned, there's no one else in here. You know what I'm saying? Hey yo, pause, Philly Phil. That I'm aware of. Hey yo, pause, double pause, resume, Philly Phil. All right. But for the business, when the CEO is just like, there's a chain of command, and then there's something happening, and one person that's not an avatar gets to the crack, you know, um, they're not really going to know. And this is why it's super important. This is the way I plan on running my business: is there's communication all the way through. Because right now we don't communicate with this CEO, right? There's a chain of command, and it really adds this sense of operational drag. So, and I get, maybe we don't need to talk directly to the CEO, but there needs to be more feedback loops from the sales team to the CS team to the back end team, right? And then all of us to our chain of command, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that. And that needs to go up the chain of command. That way, it's like, hey, the CEO is allowing this, and then you're getting feedback from the bottom up, and then it reaches the top, and it's like, oh shit, we let a Big Mac slip through the cracks. You know what I'm saying? My kidneys and my liver, they didn't like that, because then then someone quits, you know, and they churn in 3 months, and the CEO's like, fuck, second dude to churn in 3 months. It's like, yeah, that's your kidneys saying, yo, you're I don't like what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a little bit of pain, little ache, And it's just like, if you're not in tune with that, you're not gonna know what's really going on. So it's just like, I'm gonna end the video here because I'm kind of just going in circles, but have avatars, bro. Fucking understand who creates the least operational drag from front to back for your business, right? And that's kind of how I look at it. Is like, when you eat stuff, what is taking the least and what is giving the most, right? And there's certain foods you can look at like that. Like, when you eat it, what takes the most and what gives the least, and then what takes the least and gives the most. It's the same thing for avatars. When this person comes in, let's track everything this person is, what they want, what their expectations were, blah, 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 on the sales call, everything, right? And understand, like, hey, did this make sense? And it's like, no, okay, what was going on with that person that didn't allow it to make sense? BIPS is one. Their money model that they come to, we're not in control how they get paid. That's set by the company. So we need to understand that before they get past the pipeline, because now, no matter how much we give to them, they're always gonna take. You see what I'm saying? So it has to be this, like, there has to be this homeostasis, that's existing inside of the business. There has to be this not parasitic relationship. What's the relationship called? When you have the rhino and the bird, and the bird's eating the ticks off of the fucking rhino, and the bird gets fed, and then the rhino's, has less chance of contracting some disease from symbiotic. So there has to be that's avatar. You know what I'm saying? That's what an avatar is for your business. Is where in the market can we target that will create the most symbiotic relationships between my team and this client, right? Where we give and they give, and it's a win-win. Because when we give and it's not a win to them, that's not a lose-win, that's a lose-lose. Because we're giving and they're not able to receive what we're giving because of how they're set up. Does that make sense? So it's just like, make sure that, and this is something you might just have to learn the hard way. You might just have to learn, like, fuck, like, we can't, we learned our lesson. Like, it doesn't make sense to work with people like this. So it's like, so I think the best way really is kind of to just go to the extremes, right? What is the most ideal, like, dream scenario? It's like, oh, if someone can get paid, like, for example, if it's 1%, it's like, what's the highest amount of bips that someone can get paid on that? If it's 100%, then it's like, that would be the most ideal. Because then for every client we get them, they're getting paid as much as they can possibly get paid industry wide. Well, that makes sense for a money model for us, right? But that's not the only thing, right? So you kind of just have to go to the extreme. What would be the most ideal client? Well, what would be the most perfect client? Where if you could literally create a client, right? If you had 1,000 clients tomorrow that hit your business, and you had to work with them for the next 10 years, how would you create them, right? And then boom, that's your ideal avatar. And then go to the opposite. And usually it will be just the opposite of that, right? But if you can't find context for that, you can go bottom, right? And do what would be the worst avatar. And then as you find answers for that, you just reverse that, and that usually would be the ideal. So that's the beauty of the extremes, is that they usually meet in opposites. So if you can't find one, go to the other, and then what you can find here, you can usually just reverse that, and it will, right? It will match. So, peace.